They're here.
Have you heard about how the film Poltergeist was actually cursed in real life? Just watch until the end and you'll understand why. Some of the cast members died in really horrible ways. Death toll, 5 for now. And the worst part is, it includes 2 brutal murders, a tragic death, and terrible sicknesses. Dominic Dunne, aka Donna Freeling in the movie, was brutally murdered only a few months after the film was released. It was her boyfriend, John Sweeney, a sous chef, who strangled her after an argument, right on Dunne's driveway. The legend of the Poltergeist curse didn't begin just because of Dunne's death. There were more. Remember Julian Beck, who played the memorably creepy Reverend Henry Kane? Well, he died shortly after Poltergeist 2 was released in cinemas. Picture this, he as well as the whole crew knew he was dying of cancer. No wonder his performance was so convincing. Will Sampson, well known as the Chief in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, also starred in Poltergeist 2, and he passed away at the age of 53, not long after the film was released. These deaths were of natural causes, but we can't help thinking, maybe there's something more going on. We'll tell you why his death in particular doesn't seem so coincidental after all. The death of Heather O'Rourke was probably the most tragic of them all, because she was only 12 years old when she passed away. Devastatingly, she was misdiagnosed with Crohn's disease, when really she was suffering from a bowel obstruction. If the right diagnosis had been made earlier, she'd have survived. But instead, she became the 4th cast member to die in just 6 years. And Grim Reaper wasn't finished there. Years later, another cast member, Lou Perryman, was brutally murdered out of unluck. The killer, Christopher Tatum, an ex-con, happened upon Perry's home and murdered him simply to steal his car. It turned out later that Tatum had stopped taking his medication for bipolar disorder. 5 deaths among the cast is a lot, but wait for it, there's a lot more. The curse continued with more horrific happenings. Here's what we found out. One of the most harrowing experiences on set happened to Oliver Robbins. Remember the scene where he's caught under the bed by a clown? Well, he was almost strangled to death filming it. The director and the crew didn't notice a prop failure and were just applauding his performance. Wow, that must have been so traumatic. Not as traumatic as this though. Did you know that they actually used real skeletons on the set of Poltergeist? What the hell? We already talked about Will Sampson, right? Well, he actually conducted an exorcism on the skeletons, claiming that the spirits were upset. Strangely, a lot of the spooky stuff that was happening on set stopped after this. Yet, Sampson did die not so long after this. And there's no doubt the original skeleton owners didn't sign up to be in a film. Other creepy things happened. Apparently, the curse continued for years after. When James Caan was hired to turn Poltergeist 1 into a novel, something very strange occurred. No sooner had he written the line, "A thunder of enlightenment in the sky," thunder crashed above and the lights went out, while the air conditioning unit flew off the wall and hit Caan in the back. The lights came back on and Caan's video games began to play themselves. That's not all of it. A decade after Poltergeist was shot, in 1992, the actor Richard Lawson was a passenger in a plane which crashed. Tragically, 27 people died, but Lawson survived with just a few scratches. Some see luck, some just see plain old unluck. But when even in 2015, things continue to happen, it's hard to pretend there's nothing going on. Indeed, during the film of the latest Poltergeist film, her crew experienced persistent equipment failures in one particular shooting location. Coincidence? Or does the curse continue to hover over any film or publication named Poltergeist? So where did the curse come from? Some say it was the skeletons that created the curse. I mean, the skeletons of actual dead people being used on set? I don't think they'd be very happy. Most people didn't know this was the case, but Spielberg revealed the truth later on, claiming it was cheaper. These real skeletons came from a facility which provided bodies for medical students. So, whether you believe in curses or not, this cannot obviously just be attributed to simple coincidences. Or can it? What do you think?